The Big Ten and SEC became Saturday's big winners. Losses by Clemson and Pittsburgh in the ACC and Iowa State and Kansas State in the Big 12 increased the likelihood that those leagues will be reduced to one playoff bid each. This widened the path for the Super 2 conferences to claim 4 playoff spots each. The College Football Playoff Committee will provide insight into their thinking when the first playoff rankings are released Tuesday night. How the committee operates remains a mystery. According to the CFP's website, the selection committee chooses the 12 playoff teams based on strength of schedule, head-to-head results, championships won, and other factors. That single sentence certainly clears things up, doesn't it? This lack of transparency is sure to heighten the controversy surrounding the committee's playoff picks. The public isn't even privy to the strength of schedule metric, which is provided by SportSource Analytics. Essentially, the committee can create whatever rationale it wants to justify its playoff field. Record matters, CFP Executive Director Rich Clark said Wednesday. But we're not trying to pick the most deserving teams. We're trying to pick the best teams. This committee has to look at a team's entire body of work. Here's my prediction for what the top 12 rankings could look like come Tuesday night. Oregon 9-0. The Ducks are the easy choice for number 1, looking increasingly dominant as the season progresses. Ohio State 7-1. The Buckeyes' road win at Penn State came at a perfect time, likely solidifying their position as the number 2 team. Georgia 7-1. The Bulldogs have excellent metrics, but their performance on the subjective eye test may determine whether they're number 2 or number 3. Miami 9-0. The Hurricanes' record is impressive, but their vulnerable defense could keep them out of the top 3. Penn State 7-1. The Nittany Lions won't face harsh penalties for a close loss to Ohio State, aided by their strong schedule. Texas 7-1. The Longhorns' balanced offense and defense bolster their eye test credentials despite a weaker strength of schedule. Tennessee 7-1. The Vols' reliable defense supports their playoff hopes, and a win against Alabama adds to their resume. Brigham Young 8-0. A solid win against Southern Methodist is good, but their strength of schedule may hurt their chances. Notre Dame 7-1. The Irish's weak schedule limits their ranking, but wins against Texas A&M and Louisville bolster their case. Indiana 9. The Hoosiers are dominating opponents, but their weaker schedule leaves them vulnerable. Alabama 6-2. The committee continues to favor Alabama due to their schedule strength, placing them well among 2-loss teams. Boise State 7-1. A close loss to Oregon stands out on the Broncos' resume, but they must win the Mountain West for a playoff. Shifting to some notable points. What's happening with Georgia's Carson Beck? His performance has shifted from a strength to a potential liability, throwing 3 interceptions in a recent game against Florida. Without Brock Bowers as a security blanket, his struggles are concerning. Are we sure Beck gives Georgia a better chance than backup gunner Stockton? Historically, Coach Kirby Smart has been slow to change quarterbacks, often sticking with a struggling starter. This raises questions about Georgia's national championship aspirations with Beck's recent form. In 3 quick points, Hugh Freeze's record at Auburn now stands at 9-13 after a loss to Vanderbilt, raising questions about his job security despite a strong recruiting class. Florida's continued struggles under Billy Napier suggest they might want to reconsider their head coach for next season. My latest playoff projection includes Georgia, Oregon, Miami, BYU, Boise State, with at-large selections for Tennessee, Texas, LSU, Ohio State, Indiana, and Notre Dame, plus dark horses like SMU and Alabama.